This video is so old school YouTube, just sitting on the floor in front of a white door. That's the best I can do, y'all. Okay. Hi everybody, I'm Stephanie, and thank you so much for choosing to hang out with me for a little bit. I am making this video because it is long overdue. I got myself a cup of joe, and I'm gonna be doing the Booktube Newbie tag. First of all, look how cool my mug is. I bought it at the Renaissance Fair. It's handmade. I paid too much money for it, but it's worth it. Somebody made it with their hands. That is gorgeous. Okay, moving right along. So I'm really excited to be answering the newbie tag today. I did decide to go with the alternate version developed by Fat Black Cat. So I'm going to leave her channel and all of her information down below. Thank you so much. I just connected with these questions a little bit better, so let's get started. The first question is, what is your name and where are you from? My name is Stephanie. You can make of that whatever you wish. And I am from Virginia. My entire family is from Portugal. I am the first generation born here in America. And so I was raised in a Portuguese household, speaking Portuguese and all that good stuff. So I consider myself pretty friggin' Portuguese. Second question is, what is your favorite genre? My favorite genre, hands down, at least right now in my life, is thrillers. Mystery and thrillers. I love them. I love them. Just that feeling of suspense and the twists that come with this genre. Everything about it is so captivating when it's done right. Okay. Bad thrillers are probably the most disappointing books, but it's okay. That's definitely my favorite genre. I do dabble in pretty much everything else. I like YA, I like contemporary, I like romance, I like everything. I mean, if you find the right book in a genre, I feel like you can like any genre. Third question is, what is your least favorite genre? I thought I was going to say something like sci-fi and fantasy, but I don't know anymore because last year I read a few sci-fi books for the first time and I loved all of them. So maybe I'm more into sci-fi than I thought. I don't read a ton of fantasy. It's just really hard for me to focus. Fantasy can be a little bit difficult for me to just wrap my head around the rules and the worlds and everything. But I am willing to try it. I'm just a little more cautious about it. I think overall, my least favorite is probably like classics. I hate them. I don't really like classics at all. I don't know if that stems from just being forced to read certain books in school, but then again, I didn't read those books. I just ignored the entire thing. Hi, I'm an English major who didn't read any classics growing up and just ignored my reading assignments because when I'm told to read things, I don't want to do it anymore. I think I always thought that fantasy and sci-fi were my least favorite genres, but really nothing gets me less on than classics. Sorry. I understand their importance. I'm so glad people read them and still cherish them years later, but for me, I just don't like a lot of them. Some of them I like. A lot of them I don't. The next question is, what literary character did you admire growing up? This is the easiest question I've ever been asked in my entire life. It was Hermione Granger, hands down, point blank, period. Hermione was my girl. I got into Harry Potter I was in 3rd grade, and the movies had just started coming out, so the books had already been out for a little bit. And I hated Harry Potter. I don't know what it was. I hadn't read the book, I hadn't read the movie, but all of these spazzy children were pissing me off and I did not like it. And then one day, let me tell you my whole entire Harry Potter story. One day in 3rd grade, I finished a test early and I didn't have a book to read. So that meant that I could go to the little bookshelf in our classroom and pick out a book. And I picked out one of the Harry Potter books, and it was not the first one. I don't remember which one it was. I want to say it was the 3rd one. I don't know. but I was fascinated. I had no idea what was going on, but I was like, all right, let me try this out. And my whole life freaking blossomed. Yeah, spiraled out of control, loved Harry Potter, and loved Hermione. She inspired me so much. I had the curly poofy hair, I had the bangs, I loved books. So I'd just carry my books around, pretend I was Hermione, play Harry Potter at recess, and I always played Harry and Hermione because I didn't have enough friends to cover all of the people. She always just inspired me with her desire to just do her best. And I think I carried that a lot through school, especially with every new book that came out. It was just like renewed it, and I felt inspired. And I especially carried that through college. I just like embraced my nerd. The next question is, what is your favorite book or series? Okay, my favorite series is Harry Potter, hands down. But I also don't read a lot of series. I can't do it. I can't do it. I find series to be so difficult for me for the most part. I don't have anything against them. I'm willing to try them if it sounds interesting enough. But I get very frustrated by many different things. The cliffhangers. I get frustrated by just the amount of books that a series can sometimes have makes it very intimidating to even start them, even if people are saying that it's amazing. If I had never read Harry Potter, I probably would have never started it at this point in my life because you're out of your mind. It's just like too big of a commitment, I think. I think I have commitment issues. Says the girl in a 5.5-year relationship. There aren't a ton of series that I read and I stick with, and Harry Potter I obviously stuck with. So that's my favorite. My favorite book is Deathly Hallows. When this book came out, I think I bought it at Safeway. I don't know why. I opened it. This very first sentence in here. We now present the 7th and final installment in the epic tale of Harry Potter. And then I just sobbed. My tears are just filled in that book. I think I read this book 3 or 4 times. It's the most I've ever reread any Harry Potter book. And I don't even know why. I think a lot of people probably wouldn't say that Deathly Hallows was their favorite Harry Potter book. But I think just all of the emotion that came with it really impacted every read I had of the book. That's my favorite book. I need to reread this book. Now I'm feeling like something outside of Harry Potter. Last year, I read Dark Matter by Blake Crouch, and that book has stuck with me. I can't stop thinking about it. I really need to reread it, but I do think that that's a favorite. That book is incredible. Incredible. And it's a sci-fi. Can you believe this is happening? It's a sci-fi. The next question is, who is your favorite author? And I find this difficult. If you had asked me this a handful of years ago, I probably would have said J.K. Rowling, but we don't talk about her. And realistically, I don't think she is. She wrote 7 books that I'm in love with in a series that changed a lot of things in my life. But I don't think she's my favorite author. Yikes. I was like, how much do you have to do to be Stephanie's favorite author? But I also am like somebody who really loves to read, but I've been kind of in and out of reading. And so I don't know if I have a favorite author. I really love reading Stephen King, but a lot of his books aren't 5 stars for me, but I really enjoy the process of reading his novels, and I will continue to be reading them. So I think Stephen King is probably one of my favorite authors. I think Blake Crouch is in the running to be one of my favorite authors. I just haven't read enough books of one particular author to like claim them my favorite just yet. So hopefully this year I'll do that. I'll read more books of specific authors and just kind of establish some favorites, because right now I'm just kind of all over the place. And I really enjoy particular books from authors, but I can't say they're my favorite author because I haven't read anything else from them. So I don't know how to answer this question. The next question is, what character do you relate to? I feel like I kind of already answered this Hermione Granger has been the character that I've related to the most my entire life growing up. Let me think. Yeah, you know, I just really don't think there's going to be a better answer than Hermione. There's never been a character like that for me other than that reaches that level like Hermione. Obviously, when I'm reading any book, I can find similarities with characters. I can empathize, I can connect with them, but it's never been like Hermione. And the final question is, what literary world would you like to live in? Gee, I wonder what she's gonna say. Is this just like a Harry Potter tag? Ugh. Hogwarts, hands down. Hogwarts, hands down. Hufflepuff, man. Got my common room next to the kitchens. What else do I need? I would be there, love it, and then I would just like do everything I could to be a Hogwarts professor so that I wouldn't have to leave. Other than that, I think I would want to be like an elf in the Lord of the Rings universe, or like a hobbit. I mean, honestly, realistically, I'd probably be a hobbit, but I would want to be there when things are chill. And that goes for both of these situations, because I can't fight, okay? I can't fight. I'm a Hufflepuff, yo. I can't fight, okay? So that wraps up all these questions. I do want to say I had a booktube channel in the past when I was in college, many years ago, and I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed having my booktube. I struggled with it because I don't read as fast as it seems like everybody else on booktube does, and so I felt very discouraged, and I'm just gonna kind of work on not caring about that. There's no reason for that. However many books I read, that's how many books I read. I'm telling you right now, the month of May is not being a good reading month at all. I'm just gonna work on not giving up, not being too hard on myself about my reading, and just having fun with it, because that's the whole point. And I'm here because I want to make friends, and I want to talk to you all about books and just get to know bookish people who enjoy the same things that I do, because none of my friends read, okay? They don't read. I'd love it if you all would answer a couple of questions down below. What literary world would you all like to be in? And what is your favorite book or series? I would love to see how our answers align. Maybe I'll get some new books to read from your suggestions. It'll be great. So thank you all so much for hanging out with me. I really appreciate it. I'm so excited to keep making videos here and to keep interacting with everybody. Y'all have been so sweet, just as it is on Twitter and here and everywhere. And you guys are just beautiful humans, okay? Thank you so much for hanging out, and I'll see you soon. Bye.